where we help you build, grow, and maintain your business live. I am your host, Mr. Brick City NJ, and we are live. The pod is brought to you by BONJ, powered by That Hub Live Radio. Don't forget you can support the work of the Hub by making a donation to That Hub Life. I'm sorry, $ That Hub Life via Cash App. The baddest brother in the land will be joining me momentarily. However, we are going to get ready to jump right into today's show. I do have some major announcements that we're going to kick off today's show with. Announcement number one, the pod is now available on Facebook Watch. Again, the pod is now available on Facebook Watch. So if you are, if you have a smart TV and you have Facebook Watch downloaded to your TV, you can simply search for the pod, or you can search for BONJ. Hit that notification, hit that follow, and every time we go live with the pod, you'll know. It'll make a notification on your TV. Just as we were coming on to, I'm sorry, not that one. I'm gonna hold that one for last. We will now be able to take a deeper dive into the expertise of some of our guests, because the pod is now available on Clubhouse. Again, I say the pod is now available on Clubhouse. So if you are on Clubhouse, tap the magnifying glass, tap the search bar, switch the tab to groups, and type in the pod, hit the button, and you are in. And our final announcement of the day, we are proud to announce that the pod is now on Anchor FM. That's right, the pod is now on Anchor FM. And not only are we on Anchor FM, but just as we were coming on the air just now, we were approved for Spotify. So again, we are now, the pod is now on Anchor, and is now on Anchor and Spotify. So we are extremely happy to be able to have multiple ways that we can share the knowledge base of our expertise with everything that we are trying to do here at the pod. As I said, our co-host will be joining us just momentarily, but as we wait for him, what we're going to do is just jump right into today's show, and we're going to bring in our expert. So, as we get ready to bring in our expert, what I want to make sure is I tell you a little bit about her. She is the CEO of two businesses. One is AP Lifestyle and Consulting, and she is the CEO of House of Vanity Boutique. She holds a master's in psychology, but not just any ordinary master's. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about that. Alicia, are you on the line? Hold on, we're gonna try and get you a little bit more volume because I can't. I'm hearing you in my headphones, but okay, there we go. You there, Leash?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. I am so happy that I can. How are things?
Things are going great. Thank you for having me, first of all.
Listen, I'm excited.
Listening, watching.
No doubt about it. I am so glad you were able to join us this afternoon. So, first of all, tell me about what happened today. You had some things going on. I thought it was only one thing, but you...
Going on, a couple things.
Yeah, man. Well, tell us about what happened today.
Yes, so as everyone may know, this month, March, is Women's History Month.
Which is part of the reason why you're on the show with us today.
Of course, right? Women making history, we're doing it. So today at the boutique, we had a National Dress Day observation event where we had cocktails, we did bingo, where we did trivia with women's history facts like, the women's suffrage movement, famous women in history and the things that they've done. And you kind of mark off your bingo card, classic bingo, and win a prize. So that was really fun. I got to talk to some of the ladies. They showed up in their dresses, which was awesome for National Dress Day. And then we also appeared at another event in Hillside for a pop-up shop, which was really cool to support another person doing a women's event. So, trying to spread the love and, observe women who are doing it past and present.
No doubt about it. I just love the fact that our beautiful melanated sisters are just extremely about their business, and not to
Yes.
and speaking of about being about your business. So, um, I used to know folks that used to make this derogatory term. I took it as derogatory. They used to call folks who were well educated, like alphabet kids, right? Because they had all
Okay.
sorts of letters and commas and periods at the end of their names. So, I was doing my due diligence. So let me first preface this by we're cousins, right? You're an admin and moderator
Yes.
for BONJ.
Mhm.
So, I was hoping, of course, we were hoping to meet in person, but being given your events, you're on the line with us. So that means I had to go in and do my own due diligence as a host should, and find out
Yes.
about AP a little bit. So what I found
So
out,
what you
what
come up with?
so the
What did you
first thing
come
that
up
I
with?
noticed is you had some letters behind your name, Alicia, that I did not know, and two, I want you to just dive into what they mean real quick, because I listen. If I would have matriculated in three doctoral programs at the same time, I probably wouldn't have made it out. That's all I'm gonna say. But I noticed that you had Psi Doc M at the end of your name. So why don't you tell the folk a little bit about what that Psi Dot M stands for?
Yes. So as you mentioned in the beginning, I do have a master's in industrial and organizational psychology. Excuse me, say that 10 times fast.
Wait, say that one more time so
I
I
got
can get that.
right. So I got my undergrad in psychology from Montclair State,
Okay.
and then I did my master's at Kane University.
Boy, I'm glad.
And so the
I'm glad.
PSYM. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just glad Jonathan wasn't here when you said Montclair State, because that could have turned into a
Uh
whole
oh.
argument. Sheesh.
I might have been on his side because let me tell you,
Well,
I'm telling y'all I went there, but
okay.
Anyway, that's another show.
Okay. Okay.
So, yes, the PSY.M stands for Masters in Psychology. So it's just a title that signifies that you have, masters,
Right.
the study of psychology, and then of course your individual, area of expertise. You usually kind of announce that later.
No doubt about it. So, but you matriculated in each of the three doctoral programs. Was that simultaneously, or was that over a certain amount of credits?
No, I did my master's in 3 semesters, and then at that time I did my certification for SHRM.
Wow.
Right, and so so that kind of happened simultaneously. They overlapped a little bit, but those are basically, you could either have one or the other to be in human resources, but I just so happen to just say, it on, give me everything. I want everything.
Give me everything. There's a song.
Everything.
There's a song about giving you everything. But so basically, to sum that up, you are an HR specialist. So we're not going to tap into that side of you today. We're going to tap into the other side of you because, as I shared with the folk, you are the CEO of House of Vanity Boutique. Yes.
Yes, yes, and my degree does actually help me in my business,
Look at that.
which we can kind of loop that in there so that it's understood how I kind of use that to my advantage to be able to run my business.
Well, see, now here we go. See, question
There you
number 3. I didn't have that one. So last week we had For Your Skin CEO Shari Mendez on the show. Another one of the cousins, and she shared she shared with us the importance of building a community when that will support your brand, right? And
Yes.
being able to sell that community a solution to their need. So if you could pick out any 4 keys that you followed in building your online brand, we're gonna start with the online brand. What would those four keys be?
I'm sorry for.
The 4 keys that you followed in building your online brand.
I'm sorry, it's breaking up a little bit. You said 4 T's.
The four keys to building your online brand. What were those?
Oh, I would say teamwork, 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 teamwork.
Okay.
even just going off of building community, what I have been able to leverage in running my online business is having a team of young ladies that are passionate about fashion. They're enrolled in degree programs for fashion, and so having those ladies be a part of the team and help run those automated things that we have going on in the background for the online store is really important for us. And then of course, being able to have them learn about how to build the community and how to reach our followers and who are our target audiences and what those women like. So all of that kind of works together, and I would say that that would be how I would lay it out.
No doubt about it. So, what made you choose a boutique over, let's say, a skincare line, or over, something else? What was it about fashion and accessories that made that your go to situation, your go to business?
Yes, yeah. So while I was getting my undergrad, I worked in retail because that's one of the easiest, best, most fun places to work. And so during that time, I worked in, fashion stores that were on the higher end. And I would say that my love for fashion came from being around the merchandise. At that time, I was working for a New York company, and they had just branched out to their freestanding accessory stores. And so I was managing one of the stores that was, newly built. So I got to really immerse myself into the accessories being the icing on the cake, right? Because of course, clothing is expressive, it's creative. You can make it your own, but I believe that accessories are probably the easiest, most expensive ways for women to dress up their wardrobe and to keep it flexible. So I took a love to accessories back in 2010, and I actually started out making accessories at first. And so, because at that time the volume kind of got out of control, I started doing a mix of things. And I am doing a new collection this year, hopefully, of handmade items to kind of go back to that. Because specialty pieces for me are those big, expressive, bold pieces that kind of bring out the outfit, like I said, and kind of speak to, the different women's style.
Right.
So I got into it, again, because of that love of being able to express myself through fashion, and, bringing that to other women so that they can feel that confidence and, that versatility.
So that's awesome. So you said one thing, volume out of control, right? So
Yeah.
I've been in and out of clubhouse rooms over the
Hmm.
last couple of weeks because I don't know if you got to hear the intro, but the pod is officially available on Clubhouse. You might hear me say that a couple of times. But and I've been listening to some fashion stuff. I just so happened to walk into a fashion room, and and this is just more so about kind of what you have in store. Your items, like there was this young lady who, excuse me, who was, I forgot what she was selling, like handmade stuff. Is
Hmm.
your stuff, how much of your stuff is handmade and custom to your client or your clientele versus just having a bulk of an item?
Hmm. I would say right now, honestly, I don't have any handmade items that are just being put out just for sale, but I do have a group of customers that have been with me for 5, 6, 7 years that come to me and say, "Hey, Alicia, can you make me this bracelet?" Or, "Hey, Alicia, I have this thing I'm doing. Can you put this together? Or can you remake this for me?" So I do have that core of clients that will come to me to get things made, but like to put together a collection of pieces, that takes time, that takes creativity, that takes research, and that's something that I'm looking to add to the brand. Like I said, this year, not only for myself but to wholesale to other boutiques. That's you hearing that first, right
Wow.
here.
We just got a House of Boutique exclusive.
Yes.
So you're about to
Hmm.
start wholesaling to
I
other
am,
boutiques. So does that mean that there's
and I'm
going to
gonna
be,
say,
okay?
since you brought up Clubhouse, it's been a great resource for me, and I was able to get a list of manufacturers and have access to those leveling up options to be able to wholesale, because obviously I can't sit here, even if I have 5 people, it's hard to kind of sit here and crank out lots and lots of pieces at quality and, quantity for other places. So, it's something that, I'm exploring, and I'm very excited that that's something that we're going to be doing later.
So, what was your trigger? What was it that said, well, I won't say what was it that said, but, you did say, at some point you just realized that your volume was just kind of out of control. So you couldn't do, you couldn't do, I'll just say, out the living room anymore. So what was the trigger that said, listen, we can't do this in the living room no more? Because Sherry is kind of on the cusp of that same thing, because her soap sold out the day of our show, 2 hours before she got to the studio, right? Her soap sold out, and then she re-released the soap the other day, and now her entire store is probably empty. They probably have bought everything because they were mad because they couldn't get to the soap, so they went and spent money on everything else. What was that point for you? What did that look like?
It looked like a lot of boxes of stuff in my makeshift office, because I am working from home.
Right.
So it was a lot of stuff just everywhere, and I couldn't separate the work from the, making things and working with the online boutique and parenting and, everything else. So it was hard to kind of separate all of that, even though, I consider myself to be really good at time management and managing in general. It was just too much, and I wanted to create a separation of, all of the things that I had going on. And then it also created an opportunity to have local customers, come in and feel in touch and pick up their items, especially if they're doing stuff last minute. It kind of gave them an opportunity to come and pick things up, and then to do events.
What's kind of funny about that, before you go into the events piece, what was funny about that was that was kind of, I used to, I worked for Radio Shack for quite some time over on Irvington Avenue, and I was working retail in a $2.5 million store. And that was kind of the key to building their brand. It was like you had to get something into the consumer's hands, whether it was something they wanted, something they didn't like, regardless of what it is. Because, anybody who knows anything about Radio Shack knows that you didn't leave Radio Shack with at least touching a pack of batteries once. So,
right, absolutely.
So I see what you did there.
Right, and then even where I'm located, I'm in Orange, and we have basic stores like, and I don't use that word too harshly, but we have stores like Rainbow, Easy Pickings, and those things, which are fine. But if you're looking for something that is a little bit more elevated, elegant, and you can really turn up in its quality stuff, I wanted to bring something like that here locally, because a lot of the nightlife for this area is in areas like South Orange, West Orange, the neighboring bordering areas. And so there aren't really many boutiques that you can go to kind of pick up something and say, hey, girl, I'm going out Friday night. What am I going to wear? I don't have time to wait for it from the Insta boutique. I need it today, because I'm like that.
Right. And I will say that I know where you used to be at, but, somebody's here in studio with me and I don't want no smoke, but I know where your original location was. So talk us kind of through that. Okay, so I'm ready to move into my own place, but how do I know that this space is right? What are you looking for specifically? What were you looking for specifically, kind of to fit your business?
I was looking for something that was low maintenance as far as it being a turnkey, meaning I can come in and out, and I can set my own hours, and I could give the customers a personalized experience, with the location. I wanted it to be big enough that, I could get people in here to be a comfortable experience, have, limited items so that it's specialties and you won't see anybody else walking around with your outfit, but at the same time, I wanted it to be a space that was intimate and not too big, so that I didn't have to carry too much merchandise.
Right. So, I just want you to be aware,
Alicia,
that things is about to things about to take a turn.
Alicia, Alicia.
Wait, say that again, Alicia. I don't think he heard you.
Alicia,
Hello. Yes.
you know who this is. Don't act like that.
I,
Don't you act like that.
I'm looking at my invisible watch right now.
Ooh,
Oh, don't you? You know what? We'll handle that on the outside.
at dinner.
We'll handle that on the outside. Alicia,
All right.
so
Well,
listen.
I'm glad to hear from you, brother.
You know what?
Pull back, pull back, pull back.
You know what? You know what? Don't you do that, okay? Okay, don't you do that. Don't treat me like I'm light skinned. You know I ain't light skinned, all right?
And listen, I'm not either.
So listen, all right. So you built this entire enterprise, and from the same curb of where Marcus came from.
Ooh.
From the same curb. No. From the same curb where Marcus came from. If I'm a new brick and mortar, because you started online, right, sis?
I actually had 2 other locations before I went online, but yes, online is the best thing since sliced bread. But yes, go ahead.
Because you had no overhead, you ain't got no bills. It's
Right.
just straight drop shit, straight to the client, right?
Correct. Yep.
So to a young entrepreneur, a young female, give me 3 things that you would tell them that they need to get started. Go.
The first thing would be research.
Wow.
Understanding who you're going to sell to. You know, we all think we have the best ideas right in our head, but you have to know that what you're doing is needed and it's necessary. And this is, I'm going to be a little bit more specific in fashion, because people think that just because you have pretty clothes that it just automatically sells.
Right.
But I think that you still have to do research there, and you have to understand who your brand is going to resonate with. Because if you have a goth style, for example, you want to make sure that you're reaching, you know, those individual people in that niche. You don't have to be so broad that you're reaching everybody. Stick with who your brand resonates with, or who you or your personal style resonates with. So research is the first thing. The second thing is, don't underestimate the power of a business plan, because it will keep you focused on what your goal is. If you don't know how much money that you need to make, or if you're buying a bunch of stuff and you're doing a bunch of stuff and you don't know where the money is coming back, or if you're really making money, then you're not going to really get far, or you're going to be in the hole for a long time and thinking that you're making money. So definitely have some form of business plan. And then the third thing would be to get some support. So reach out to other people that have boutiques or have even whatever type of business that you want to be in, so that they can give you some sort of mentorship, so that you can avoid making foolish mistakes that you don't have to make. Because you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to go through, you know, the mud all the time. You know what I mean? And I think that message kind of gets out there the wrong way sometimes. People, you know, drive this message of, you know, you have to go out there and struggle and get through the mud to make it. But that may be one person opening the door for you. So you may not have to do that if you can get some type of mentorship to help you through the business process.
Well, I watch you. That is absolutely amazing. I watch you, and you seem like you are your own brand. You try on your own clothes. You wear the jackets and the whatever else is that you're selling, whatever or not. And so I want to ask you, what makes you different? What makes you stand out than the rest? What makes you different than everyone else?
I would say that the ability to play with different looks and kind of have them be versatile over, you know, going to work or going to cocktail hour, or, you know, hanging out with friends. I think that my brand is a nice mix of clothes that kind of cover all of those areas.
Right.
I feel like a lot of the boutiques, and, you know, again, I'm not coming down on
No,
anybody.
you're not. No.
You know, are naked girl clothes. They're naked girl clothes. And, you know, and that's fine if it's naked girl
And that's your
clothes.
thing, right?
You know, I feel like we still need to have some class and some integrity, and
Right.
still be able to dress fashionable as young ladies. You know, especially me being in the profession that I'm in. You know, I can't wear that stuff to work, or I can't put that stuff on Instagram or Facebook either, because you know,
Right.
I still have to uphold myself as, you know, as a young woman, excuse me. So I would say what makes me different is being able to reach those women that still embody that level of class and that Dorothy Dandridge and that
Dorothy
that
Dandridge.
type
My
of,
God.
or that type of personality, I would say.
I mean, I think you're dope. I mean, listen, you know you're my sister, right? And I think you're absolutely amazing. And I think the world needs to understand who you are, where you've grown from, right, and where you plan on going. So, but I love you. You know your brother love you. I just like to pick with you.
So, Alicia, I just want
Y'all
to.
too.
Hey, we definitely.
You better.
Whoa, so aggressive, sir.
No, with Alicia, you got to be like that.
Tell me
So,
about it.
so
I think somebody
Alicia,
took her credit the other night, but nobody was trying to take her credit.
Wow.
We said the same. Marcus, we said the same thing.
Wow.
Marcus, we said the same thing the other night.
that is accurate.
And she was like, don't try to take my credit, Jonathan.
But she said LOL, bro. So how you getting a?
I'm not offended.
Are you getting a?
I'm not offended.
So Alicia, I'm sorry. I don't want to. We
I felt a little tapped.
we want to
That
make
was a-
sure
I
we.
didn't hear him say what I had said.
Marcus, would you please validate
So
your
Alicia,
brother?
what I like to do is take this opportunity to John. Now that we have John here in the building, on set in studio, we're gonna pay some bills. We're gonna ask you to hang out with us for just a tad bit longer. I know what your schedule's looking like, so we gonna get all of you that we can before you have to roll. But it's very, very, very important that we pay some bills, and we get in the habit of paying bills. So, John, what you got for us?
We will be soon opening up advertising opportunities, so you can make and drop your comments. So you can make and drop your comments. So we be opening up advertising opportunities really soon for here on the pod. So if you want to, you can drop your comments and drop who you are, and we will reach out to you, and we will be featuring you very, very soon on the pod.
Up next, we have Drip Cosmetics, who is having a scholarship fundraising drive. Drip Cosmetics is looking for high school seniors that will be graduating from high school this year. If you are interested in applying for the Drip LLC Scholarship Fund, please get over to dripcosmeticsllc.com. Keep in mind that you must submit an application before June 1st, and you must be attending a college or university either in the fall of 2021 or the spring 2022 semester. Is that all that I have in terms of paying bills? Have we paid all the bills? It looks like we have. So, before we get back to Sister Alicia,
Go ahead, bro.
some things I need to tell you.
Talk to me.
I done told the folk already.
Oh,
I done told the
wow.
folk already.
Oh man.
But you with us, so I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me. I want to feel included too.
The pod is now available on Clubhouse. There's a room for the pod open on. Was that Alicia cheering? Is that what I just heard? It sounded like I heard somebody
Heard in my
cheering.
head. You must be psychic.
Not
I
only
swear to God.
not only are we available on Clubhouse, but we are now available on Anchor FM,
Okay.
Anchor.fm.
Let's go.
And just before we went live,
Let's
Brother
go.
John,
Uh-huh.
this is the big one. It's not Facebook Watch. Facebook Watch isn't the big one. It's big, but it's not the big one. We are officially available on Spotify.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. There we
3
go.
episodes.
There we go.
We're on Spotify, bro.
Let's go.
I'm having an invisible toast with my margarita.
Okay.
Yo, no lie. Yo, Marcus, I gotta say that. Yo, sis be in her studio inside her boutique with her glass.
I'm telling you.
You know, you remember Mary Jane?
Yeah.
Mary Jane, on BET.
Right.
You know,
Being Mary Jane.
Sis reminds me of Mary Jane because she be having her glass with wine in it. She be dancing. She be like, y'all need to come buy this. And
This-
1,000 people be like, I'm going to buy it right now.
And let me tell you something, and I expense it all off, every single bottle I drink.
You said, what's-
Wow.
you
She said it's an expense, bro.
I bet you everything is a write-off in business now.
Everything.
I know that.
Everything.
I know that.
Every beard oil, every haircut, every manicure and pedicure.
Everything is a business
Every
expense.
eyelash curl, every thread,
That's-
Everything's a business
right.
expense. I totally agree.
everything.
Now listen, I know that, and I know she knows that because I know how it is.
But,
Right.
and you know what's funny? You say that because it allows us to tease next week's show. We will have a certified CPA and tax specialist on next week's show. for National Women's History Month.
Okay.
I figured I'd do that one early.
All right. Here we go.
Alicia, we not here to play. We here to stay, baby. So listen, this is kind of the part where we throw away the script to an extent, but we want to get down to the inspiration of it all. We touched on it a little bit, and I'm gonna let John lead off on this one. But you know, we want to know what inspires you, and we want to take what inspires you, and we want to filter it on over for the good folk on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
John, take it away.
I would say.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sis.
Go ahead.
No, you go. No, this is your show. We just here.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Okay. I would say what inspires me is the perseverance of women over history. And I don't just mean the things that we know about, you know, the Harriet Tubmans, what was the young lady who just played in the awesome movie Andra Day? What's the movie? I didn't see it yet.
Ooh, what movie?
Yeah, Andrew Day just did a movie, bro. I don't know what it was
Yeah,
called.
he did a remake of another young lady. Anyway, it's those
Billie
who
Holiday.
were.
It was
Yes, there we go. Billie
the
Holiday.
U.S. versus Billie Holiday on Hulu.
Yes, that one.
We don't tend to remember those things when they don't pay us.
You know what? That's not what had happened.
Nah, we trying to get Hulu to drop some monetization this way. But go ahead,
Right.
Anish. I'm sorry.
They should. But yeah. So just my overall point is that, you know, those women who may have had a foot in on one type of thing, or may have had one type of talent, but they use their platform and they use their voice to be part of something bigger than that. So, for example, she was a singer, but she also had, you know, a political voice, you know, that she was able to be a part of. So for me, you know, having the boutique is great. It's fun, but it also just speaks to me being able to explore all of the different sides of me that, you know, I want to express, and having the freedom to be able to do that as a woman, you know, in current times, knowing that back at that time, you know, that wasn't really celebrated. And so it's awesome for me to explore my own personal journey of all of these things that I may be good at or can do, whether they make money or not, you know, just being able to explore all of the different parts of me that make me awesome. And, you know, whether, like I said, monetizing or not, it's an awesome experience to go through the journey of that, to understanding who I am, instead of just saying, okay, well, this is where women are supposed to fit. This is how women are supposed to be. Let me just fit that mold. Even with, you know, current culture and all of the things that we have going on around us and influence, it's still important for us as people, and specifically us as women, to know our identity, to be in touch with our core identity and be able to express that. So this year I could say I'm going to do a boutique, and then next year I may say I'm going to go be an astronaut and I'm going to bling out my space suit and I'm going to space. And I have that freedom to be able to do that. And I have the intelligence also to be able to say I'm going to go study a space program. So I think that being able to fit all of those components about myself, which I had to learn and grow and get to know myself, gives me the ability to be able to do those things. So that is my inspiration.
Let me ask you a question.
For anything that I touch.
Let me ask you a question. Can you identify your why?
Ooh.
Have I identified my why?
Can you? Or you know, listen, you're well, you know, settled businesswoman. So I'm just, can you? Who's your who or what is your why? Can you identify
my who, as far as my why, are my children. I have
what's their
3
name?
girls and I have a son.
What's
right?
Their,
and
what's
so
their name?
my why. I'm sorry.
What's your kid's name?
So there's Elijah, Amani,
Elijah and Amani,
and
okay.
Bella.
And Bella?
Yes.
All them kids sound pretty and beautiful and handsome.
They are. They're cute. They're cute. They make an appearance every now and then on my page.
Okay.
But
okay.
they are my why.
Wow.
Not because of the cliche, you know, I'm doing it for them so that they can have and all that. I want to teach them that there is more to life than just working a job. You know, you can build your wealth or build your income in different ways. I want to be able to build something that I can leave them. And I'm not talking about just an online business where, you know, it's I'm posting on Instagram. I want to leave them an oiled machine that they can run. And so I need them to understand how to manage things and how to have leadership skills so that they're not breaking their neck for the rest of their life, exchanging their time for money, because it's not how it works.
Boss.
Wow.
You know, and that's exactly what Beyonce was talking about in the Boss track with Jay-Z. She said, all of my great-great-grandchildren have enough money that they're already going to be on the Forbes list. She said that's a lot of brown people on the Forbes list.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And, you know, it's levels to it. And, you know, I appreciate her for giving it to us like that so that us little people can understand and have something to work towards. And again, even if it's just having a couple of boutiques or, you know, some of the other stuff I'm involved in that I know isn't relevant for here, but, you know, there's a lot of different things that if you do it the right way, with the right intentions and, you know, with the right support, it can be an operational business that can stand next to, you know, another small business like Shake Shack, even though we know that that's corporation.
Now listen
you know,
here.
even though they're
Listen
considered
here.
small
Now,
businesses,
you know,
they're
Shake Shack is
just
a
as
spot.
an example.
Shake Shack is a
So
spot.
I want them to learn certain skills, and, you know, so that when I'm gone, long gone, they're not down here struggling.
I agree with you, but Shake Shack is a spot, all right? You hear me?
It is. I love it.
You know what I'm
was
saying?
using that because they were one of the targeted businesses that got, you know, some of that PPP, where people were like, well, they're not a small business, but technically when you do your research and your business plan and your paperwork, like I said earlier, you would know these things, and you got to know who your competition and how to classify yourself. We talked about that already.
Yep, absolutely. I thank God for the PPP.
It sounds like what we need to do is
Absolutely.
bring Sister Alicia on later on in April and talk about some
No, we
things.
definitely need to bring her on because she does more than
Oh,
boutique. She's also in the, she also you do taxes too, right?
I don't. No.
No.
She's an HR
I do
specialist.
taxes once they get in my pocket. I do.
Wow.
No, but you do
Wow.
handle some level of finance,
I
don't you,
go back
Alicia?
to the store. What you say?
Don't you handle some level of finance?
I'm sorry.
Don't you handle like some level of finance? No.
No, I work in HR, so I have a career development program and an app.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So.
It's AP Lifestyle and Consulting.
Oh.
She has a book called Get Hired.
We need her.
Yep.
We need her.
What? So did I do good? That's all I want to know. Did I do my proper?
Yeah, you did your research.
So Alicia,
Enough.
I want to thank you so much for being our expert today. Truly means a lot to us here on the pod, but overall the BONJ community. We have just a few more minutes. We're gonna let you go, but you know, John and I have a few more minutes to wrap things up here in studio. Thanks again so much for being a part of our day. We appreciate you.
Alicia, you didn't invite me yet to
You
the
all so
to a
much.
boutique. We're trying to do a pop up at the boutique. What's
Bro,
up?
so what I can do is I can say that she has asked on a number of different times in the chat.
Be quiet.
Come on.
Don't you mention it. Don't you mention it. If you mention that, you know, I'm gonna fire you. I'm gonna suggest
It's all right. It's
So-
all right, and I'll hire him, and he could drink on the job here. We drink on the job
Say less.
here.
1800 silver. Neat.
I'm a coconut girl. 1800 coconut. And,
wow.
That is my second choice. Neat.
all right.
But Leash,
I'm pulling up though, sis. I am. I'm pulling up one day.
listen, I want
That's
you.
okay. No rush. We got the whole spring.
We
The whole
definitely
spring
do.
It's coming.
We definitely do.
Yo, we've said. I'm looking at the closed captions. We've said a lot of brands on this show today.
definitely-
But Leash, thanks again for being a part of the day. We can't wait to talk to you soon. We'll probably be talking to you
Thank
before the
you
end of
so
the
much.
night.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Definitely. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, everybody in BONJ. Love you guys. Keep doing great work.
You keep pushing and grinding, big sis.
All right.
Later. So, John, my man,
What's up, bro?
It's good to see you,
It's
bro.
an amazing day.
So listen, you got something you want to drop on the people?
I have nothing to drop on
No,
nobody.
that's untrue, bro. That's
I have
untrue.
nothing to drop on nobody.
Nothing.
At all.
So you had you. So last week we wanted to talk in depth about it, but have you had a lot of people respond to your new relationship with?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so we're gonna move on then. We gonna
man.
move.
So myself and Santander Bank is now partners together. We're partnered together to help fund small businesses, preferably women and minority businesses, to help fund their business. Giving out grants from $2,500 all the way up to $10,000. Those who specialize in the food industry. So if you cook, if you do any kind of food distribution, if you frying fish at the house, and you've been doing that for 2 years and you've been getting paid for it, we want to have you. I want to talk to you. I want to connect with you. I want to see if I can get money to you. It's been a blessing to been partnered with them, and we signed a 5-year contract. 5-year contract with Santander Bank for distributing funds. So I'm grateful to God for what He's doing in our lives.
There's another project. Is that up for public discussion or share?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's another project?
Okay. I mean, if I say it, then it becomes public. I don't want to do that. But you had another contract that was humongous, and
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't know what you're talking
But I
about.
do want to congratulate you on the latest drumming to carry on the legacy.
Okay.
I saw that. I checked your stories out before the show. I see you been hanging out with this handsome young man these days.
Oh
brother.
man, I got 2 nephews. Man, these are my guys, man. Lil Bryce and Kashmir. I've been hanging out with my nephews, man. God has been good to our family to extend a legacy with them, and these gonna be baby millionaires. I ain't gonna hold you. These babies
They're gonna be on the Forbes list by the time they're 12.
They're already wealthy already.
Yeah, they're on their
already
way.
wealthy. Yeah, man. My sister had a beautiful little boy, the little chocolate one you see. That's Kashmir. That's
Right.
That's my sister's baby.
Okay.
And then my brother-in-law had a baby. Well, his girlfriend had a baby, whatever or not. Little Bryce. So
Okay.
those are my nephews, man. Those are my guys, man. Definitely.
And big sister Chris is doing well.
Oh, my wife is amazing. She's gorgeous. She's got her hair done.
I saw that. It looked really, really nice, bro.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Try to take care of the wife, you know.
Okay. So I mean, I
How
feel.
you doing? You talk about everybody else. How are you feeling today?
Bro, I'm in one piece, bro. I have been, just kind of hammering away at things. I want the pod. I want every inch of the pod to just be what it's supposed to be for our folk. And we're growing. A tad bit slower pace than I would like, but we're going to get
Rome
there.
wasn't built in a day. You can't build this out in a day. And even though BONJ grew the way it did, it grew because of a need that it wasn't there.
Right, absolutely.
So I believe we're going to be consistent as we consistently continue to do our show. We're going to grow. So
Right.
You're going to be amazing. You're an amazing host, bro.
I appreciate it. And that's why, speaking of growing, I figured that, it's just about that time where we drop the jewel of the day.
Oh, man.
And I feel like there's no other person better suited to do that today than you, Brother John.
I think one of the greatest things that's what's happening in our world today is a lot of people taking the COVID-19 and the time where the world literally went through a financial reset, right? When the stock market dropped like it did back last March, what really happened was the world went through a financial reset. But I want to say, I believe that it was a moment where God allowed us to reset ourselves. So those who've been working 9 to 5s, going to the building every day, tired of dealing with this, tired of dealing with that, God allowed us to take a moment to just rest. And so we went into something that's called isolation. And so in isolation we took that moment for impartation from God, right? So that was a moment when we isolated to be able to get away from other people, right? Bad influences and people who are making bad decisions and negativity and stuff like that, to isolate ourselves from them. right? And he put us in a place where we call home, right? And so I believe the world went back to the way God originally intended to be, because what happened was a lot of people, parents, not you, but parents, were just taking their kids and just throwing them off in school. Whereas God resetted the whole educational system so that now the first teacher is the parent. And so now we have what you see now, and what I've seen with my wife as an educator is, I see the teacher and the parent has ganged up together to impart into this child. So
The poor is different.
right, the poor is thicker.
The poor is
Thicker.
right.
Thicker.
Yeah, definitely.
Thicker, yeah, man. So the world went through a reset, man. That's what I'm thinking about.
So, John,
Talk to me.
nothing. That's it, bro.
I ain't got nothing else to say.
That was the jewel, bro. That was the jewel. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for tuning in today to the pod. Brought to you by BONJ, powered by That Hub Life Radio. Don't forget, if you can, contribute via Cash App to the work of the Hub, $ That Hub Life. Again, I'm your host, Mr. Brick City NJ. He's your co-host, the John Drummond, and you have been watching the pod.